Hello, everyone! Oh my god, it's been literally... Oh my god, it's been literally over a month, I think, since I last streamed. Boy, I have been sick. Like, deathly sick for a month. I've barely been able to get out of bed. Oh, I've missed streaming. Oh, I'm so happy I could stream again. I hope everyone's doing good. I'm still a bit sniffly and a little ill, so probably won't be a very long stream. But I'm feeling well enough to actually be able to sit down and do this for a bit. I don't remember much. Of what case we're doing. I remember there was a married couple, and there was stuff with, she had like a teapot. I remember meeting Iris, and I remember our defendant is a Japanese man. And there was actually no victim. Well, I mean, there's no victim. There's no murdered victim. She was just the attempted murder. Or I actually don't even know the name of the name. Yeah, I don't know the name of the victim or the gender. I'm sure I'll remember. I'm sure it'll come back to me as I play. But yeah. Let's hop back into it. We're starting the trial. Okay, at least I didn't leave myself off in the middle of dialogue. Yeah, January 13th. It is February 22nd. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's been over a month. Whoa! I swear I didn't delay. I swear I didn't delay streaming on purpose, so the dates almost exactly lined up with the game. What do you mean 20th of February? Oh my god. If I streamed 2 days ago, was I? I actually was thinking about streaming 2 days ago if I felt better. That's funny. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, and since it's been so long, everyone's voice is going to be different. Except Ryanuska, because it's just my voice. The protagonist just has my voice. It makes it so much easier. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Good morning! I'm assuming this is our defendant. Yes. Mr. Natsume. Good morning.
Oh dear. Are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
Oh my god, they are. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. Understandable. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. This is very relatable right now. Do all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Oh boy. Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Susato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeeks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
Well, we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers.
Mundane? Mundane? This most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Me? Is it because I'm so cool and awesome? Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! I don't think so. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. That is going with prosecutors. Ew, who would ever do that? What kind of defense attorney?
I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Gee, thanks, Susato. Thanks for that. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? I won, probably, kind of, last time. I technically won last time. By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Got him. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner. I'll fight your corner? Is there missing a word? Or is it just, I'll fight your corner? I will fight your corner until the bitter end. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be by your side. Be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotomo Esquiress. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. You get it. Alright then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. Oh, I miss Kazuma. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. I can't believe they killed off Kazuma. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are truly a fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? We've already met. Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Oh my god. This guy sucks.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Suzato-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Okay, this guy again. You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. She's new.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
I think this guy's new. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Isn't this her? Yeah. What do you mean impartial? You're in our court record. You're not impartial. You're not impartial at all. You were involved, kind of. You sort of. You're involved somehow. You're in our court record. I don't remember.
I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that Moustache Fauna did the deed.
He's new. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. So, all of them pretty much are new except the first guy and Joan. Because that's gotta be Joan, right? Like, there's no way it's not. Very well. Let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I can tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Oh my god, racism.
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. That dude. Huh? Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hello chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
Hey, buddy.
Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. Olive Green. I think this is our first time seeing her, because I genuinely do not recall this at all. And I don't think she's been in her court record. No, not until now. The victim of this case, who was found with a knife in her back, luckily the wound didn't prove fatal, but the woman remains unconscious in her hospital bed. I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed by the back in the back by an attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. Damn. How convenient. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. She's comatose, buddy. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. Briar Road. Mearsham Street. Calabash Road. So I mentioned the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed at the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. Well, being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. This court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Case file has been entered into the court record. Details. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Location, pavement of Briar Road, east side. Reporting officer, Rolly Bead. It being on the east side is going to be important. I like guessing which information is going to be relevant. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. That's also probably going to be important. The assailant, because somebody's probably going to be like, and he, beat her up! The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay. What of the weapon that was used? So I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even the scragged-looking Sasuke-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Large but commonplace folding knife. It was found lodged in the victim's back. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we could tell by looking at the woman's possessions, seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. In that case, we're looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? So there's no motive. Zero motive. He didn't stab her to rob her. He didn't stab her to... because he hates her. It's just... people don't just stab people, okay? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
So there's no motive. Call it out, Ryu. If theft and grievance have been ruled out as a motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Thank you! Thank you, God, bring up motive. Because motive is so important in trials, and it seems like half the time, these cases just forget about motive. Yet you arrested the man in spite of that in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Give us a motive then, buddy. Okay. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. There's just 3 injured on the ground with glass shards covered in wine. Oh, the Reaper got us. But your words have sourced its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nibonese student. Yes, sir. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Visibility was good? That's weird. I thought... that's what he said, right? It hasn't been explained like a million times that it was very foggy and no one could see. Wasn't that like the whole thing? Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. Like, maybe I'm misremembering because it's been a couple months of doing this case, but I swear. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. There's been a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It's just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found a bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Immediately. Important wording. Okay. Oh yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. Also, am I crazy, or was there no motive in his testimony, by the way? Yeah. No motive. 0. Like, come on, guys. Oh yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. will take the photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Your nip and knees are a spineless breed. Too cowardly to admit defeat. Shut up! Someone punch this guy. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. It looks like a frame job to me. Or it looks like a guy stumbled upon a dead body, dropped his books, and ran. That's what it looks like to me. Well,
Forgive me, Lord Van Seeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it.
What are you doing, Mrs. Otto? Yeah, he admitted that he saw the body. Do go on.
Mr. Natsume is admitted to playing some part in the incident.
He stabbed her.
Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Oh, good. This is actually a time of flashbacks useful. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran, as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. Green overcoat?
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. This does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them. The victim and the accused. And the police officer you just mentioned. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. Ugh. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Yeah, I got some questions, buddy. Hold it! How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. The witnesses to this crime have told us. If there are witnesses, that means there was people there who can lie. Oh yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
Oh, that's correct, Mum. His little slap. We must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But, wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen I am unaware of this situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas street lights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Am I crazy? I'm gonna have to replay this someday and check, because I swear I remember people saying there was no visibility. What? Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of books he just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Hold it! The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so understand. Shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place in the corner of Briar Road and Meersham Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Fair enough. Something like this. Fair. I have no arguments against the routing. That makes sense. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. He admitted it! We know he was there! The thing is, he didn't stab her.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being... Okay, let me review my evidence. Okay, we got our map. Yeah. Okay. Secondhand book receipt. A receipt discovered in Mr. Natsume's room for some books that he had purchased from a secondhand bookshop before the incident occurred. Oh! Your books! 17th February, 4:45 p.m. Customer Mr. Natsume, the sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal for Gabarau, and Canterbury Yearnings. So, it's a different bookshop, right? Yep, Bourbon Book. He didn't go to Bourbon Books, he went to your books. Got it. Bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue. More confidence, Rhea. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. Be quiet. Well, please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a second-hand bookshop he apparently patronizes. No.
Objection!
Objection.
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. You need more power in your objection, Rio. Or is it Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. You found that in the accused room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume. Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Is the bookshop gonna be on the west side instead of the east side? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
So you assumed. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. The location! The location makes the difference. Wherever the man pushes his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Yes, it does. It changed. Let's see where the location is.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. You know he did, we know he did. Could that be true?
My. That depends on what this other bookshop is, but I do declare maybe a possibility.
That right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. That absolutely could be right. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. Obviously. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner street of Meerschaum Street going east. Okay. There you have it. You can clearly see now. Not much changes, I don't think. Oh. I don't think much changes. Don't be cocky. Don't be cocky. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. Clown! To your future career in the circus. Oh, don't mention the circus.
You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused would comment him from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, yeah, I don't think much would change. Yeah, same path. It would, yeah, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Fair enough. We tried, okay? Yes, thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend. Oh my god. Ah! Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. I'm sure it will. There's a reason we did all that. Probably.
As I suspected, You can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
What I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. I beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
She's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Sosuke-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but... Objection! The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. I don't know how yet, but, Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. I mean, when returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. Or, yeah, he could have gone the other way, too. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Fair enough. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. That's actually probably the route he actually took, and then, since it seems like her body was, like, towards the end of the street, maybe he was passing by and saw it. Which would make sense. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
That makes sense. I was thinking about that, but I'm like... Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. It didn't look that much longer, okay? Eh. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? That's up to the person. Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
Okay, why don't we get him on the stand and ask him why he took the longer route? Yes, I've got it. Let the prosecution do some cross-examination for a change. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. Thank you. He's gonna lie. He's gonna lie. I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. Okay, he wanders aimlessly. There you go. There's your reasoning why he would choose the long way around. That day was no exception, since he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe this. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, the defense still... Uh-oh. Oh, I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. God damn it. Wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean we members of the jury are completely convinced now? No way. Already? They need to be stopped being so trigger happy. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Oh!
Guilty.
Oh, they have voices!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Oh!
Guilty!
That's her voice.
Guilty!
My good. It would appear that the jury's leading is unanimous. Man. With that, we're going to take a quick break so I can go get some medicine because I do not feel good still. I feel better. I'm not sick, but I still feel ill. So we're going to take a quick break. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Ta-ta! Okay, we are back. Quick break. That was only like 2 minutes. I just needed a minute or two. But we good. Here we go. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Real. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr. Naruhodo.
No, not yet. This isn't over yet. Ooh, snap. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. We know it's not over. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of a koi, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense were in an antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. Mort, you familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncle's refusal to throw in his alley? Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Alright, which is the most easy to get through?
The juror's contentions. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim.
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. Not in winter.
So the woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes. No shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. Okay, this guy doesn't even know where he is. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. Are they? Some of them sucked. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he was behind her. Furthermore, we heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear. Even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Why did he have to run away like that? Now, how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Hello. Oh. Hello. Hello. Oh, what the heck? It said my microphone was unmuted but had no signal. And then I was looking at the wrong audio thing. I'm like, what? Why do I have no signal? What do I do? I should have audio. Should be good now. That was weird. One sec.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the full counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. Hey!
The defense's rebuttal.
Pretty sick that local liberties already admitted himself to me.
She said the woman in green collapsed before his eyes. Why could it only prevent the victim?
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
Hold it!
Who did? But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Yes, like you drew in the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Robot or something? Precisely.
Well, it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Oops. Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
Oh, yes. Which is... why is all this true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road.
Ugh, I'm supposed to be convincing you here.
I have given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different.
There's gotta be. We must find that out somewhere.
I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would.
A reason why Sosuke-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
Hold it!
Whatever's the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Garadev, aren't you? The
The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room? The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I mean, the maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade? Ugh, this is gonna be an awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, that's right. Although he's only been a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely he must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit such a crime as this?
Oh my goodness me, yes. He's just the sort.
What?
Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting the unscrupulous mustache. That man never speaks until can be started in those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh my god.
Oh dear. Poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? Because they're racist. He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I had better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Got it, noted. Oh, really okay? Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Okay, but buddy, that's not a reason. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This'll take as long as it takes. Is his life on the line? Really? They're gonna kill him? The lady's not dead. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too. So's my family's. I see you won't understand, but a labourer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I'll go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and centre. They're after cheap labour to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By the old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence? That's right. Meersham Street it was. Meersham Street?
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets in all of London.
Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. Which one's Meersham Street? Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh! I see! I think I know who we're pitting up against who. Supporting that. Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. On the day it happened, I was digging up Meersham Street from dawn till dusk. Yeah. Yeah.
Objection!
These two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel? Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. Yeah? What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable. which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Mearsham Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, you just can't argue with that, really, can you? You must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice.
Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes.
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened.
Tip the scales.
What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say. There we go.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we gotta do. Van Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord.
I have to say not guilty at this point, so I can see where this trial goes from here.
Alright, let's press you. What? You're saying nonsense. Sorry. Fold, did you say? Fold what?
No, what I said was hold it.
What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon. It would have been just before 5 that I left. You were around? During the time of the... That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. He what? Oh my god! Wait. He's wearing a green coat like the victim. Is this who... Is this who the defendant saw? It was never the victim, it was this guy on the ground. That's so funny if that's what they're getting at. It's always worth it after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Okay, so we're definitely pitting him against someone. Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now.
You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to suffice for now. Okay, what does everyone else say? He already admitted it himself. If he said that a woman named Green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim. It's you. We got it.
Objection.
These 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What?
Well, juror number 2? Juror number 6? Oh, I thought I failed. I was like, what? Whatever do you mean, sir?
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But that man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're all aware of all this.
That explains why it's a phantom stabbing. Or a phantom killer. Because there was no killer. The guy just collapsed.
The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection.
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
Whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. The same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my. My goodness, you mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person with the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Oh, look at that.
My goodness me.
Sorry. You need a pee. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my.
You idiot old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we would have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days, Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like the change you were leading, I presume.
I did declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well...
There we go. Tipping the scales. Yay!
Well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4, and so the nose have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Huh? Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right. Took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? Yeah, wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We'd just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Huh. Is that true? Is it? It's far-fetched. The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Or, hear me out. The victim purchased the books. Ugh. Crushed in a single sentence. And old man. Coleman, you can talk. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Okay, now it's your turn. You prove it. You prove your side. Why is the burden of proof on me? The burden of proof is supposed to be on you. Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. Proof is supposed to be the prosecution's job. Why is it solely the defense's job? My lord, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh, there goes the coat. So, my learned friend, Today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Its next witnesses?
Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Which is insane. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright. No matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sosuke-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Okay, cute. Wait, they're cute. Probably murderers, but they're cute. Witnesses, please state your names and occupation for the court. Oh.
Constable Rolly Beat, sir. Martin to report on the streets, sir.
He's so cute. She's so cute too.
And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife.
Oh, what's the story here? Have they been added yet? How old are they? 21 and 23. A devoted London Bobby who witnessed the incident whilst walking down the street with his wife of a year, Patricia. The wife of Constable Rolly Beat, who is a witness to the incident. She's relatively recently married and fiercely proud of her policeman husband. Cute. What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
Is he good? No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed. Apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
Makes sense. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet, I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. Yep, real honor there. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
Constable Rolly Beat, sir! Not the report on the streets, sir! What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir.
It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There's no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. And then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene.
If their testimony is true... It's not. It's never true.
The alternative course of events that you established in your summation examination will be quashed.
It's a death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place. It is viable. Excuse you. What an unfortunate bechancing. And on your wedding anniversary, too.
Oh, I know. But I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Sosuke Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Let's do some pressing. Such a cool graphic, I love it. For wedding anniversary, Roller's taking me out for a meal. There's no time to change after work. Hold it! No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rowley looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I will head back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rowley, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
She's so interesting. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct? That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. What's that now? My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen of our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I covered 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. Wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Aww, cute. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley.
I'm so nervous that there's gonna be like something super mega toxic with them. Because they're so cute right now. And I fear.
Aw, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps? Nah, they're cute. And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Anyway, 2 silhouettes appeared in the fog on the pavement in front of us.
Hold it!
2 silhouettes?
That's right. They're coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man.
That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see? There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Oh, yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please. Mr. Beat, are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. Here's a copper who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets. I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is too. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley.
You're still maintaining there was no one else other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off.
We ran straight over, of course, and I went for help at a nearby police box.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Oh, yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Depends on the crime's location, see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I took Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There is nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of 2 model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we?
It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Only I both saw him as clear as day.
Okay, that's ridiculous. The clear as day is ridiculous. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yes. And what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is, and it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
What? Yes. Was the accused, and no mistake. Mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir.
As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. Yosuke-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? Oh, that's it? Oh. It was just pressing? Or do I still need to do stuff? Do I need to present something?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
No. Then what do we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here...
Jeez. Don't bring him up! Do not mention that name! What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean somewhere else?
Their statements about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts... you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of that day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in the statement somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it?
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it!
What? No, no, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything, like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one.
Okay, then do it. Go.
And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
That will do, Mrs. B.
No, it won't do at all! The Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Beat? Might that appease you?
Thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene.
Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, it's 3 books here too.
Objection!
was like, I'm not sure which one. So you're saying that there were 4 books.
That's right, I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur Somebody, what's its earnings, a meal for someone, and Thingummy something.
No. I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what flaw?
Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books.
But no, that can't be. I saw them. I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me.
Sorry?
It's that big old lump of a dead body. The lady so large, her corpse is...
Oh my god.
Her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book, that's all.
Let's at least try to remember the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But Mr. Natsume could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you described.
Why not?
Fascinating. And from your assured tones, something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume. Evidence. Counsel, you will present evidence to substantiate. Okay, so I substantiate your claim or withdraw it. What proof do you have that the accused did not drop the 4 books? Okay, so we are using both of them. Okay, I did the right order then. The evidence is right here, in the form of this bookshop receipt. From your books. Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
No.
Therefore, Mr. Natsume would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madam, cannot be relied upon. So, it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
No. Oh, no. No!
Objection!
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon. My learned Nipponese friend. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Damn, he really called me out. He called out our bullcrap. Would that be fair? Ugh, he sees right through me. But your plan is somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. It's not.
Oh.
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found. Okay, but the defendant only brought 3, so... But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say... Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand. Okay, so they were her book. If she's clutching a book, then it's not his books. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. Okay, but he only bought 3 books. No! Order! Order!
There, you see it? You see? Look at that. Look.
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoeur.
What's its yearnings?
Canterbury yearnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gabriel, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Definitely not flawless. Mrs. Beat's power of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rowley? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print. Okay, and who's it? I'm sorry, counsel, but it does not seem odd. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. Yeah, okay, so that one belonged to her. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book? I wonder what became of that 4th book. Obviously it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers of Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord. The prosecution rests. I want to examine everything, because I've totally forgot that that's a feature. Okay. Oh, it's spinning. Okay, there's nothing more with that. Yeah. Got the print. The book. The Lion's Pride. Lion's Pride? That sounds familiar.
Look at this.
Oh my god!
The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state. Especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book recently damaged by fire. Why does this seem to raise a red flag with me? The Garadebs. Oh, because I remember mentioning the Lion's Pride. I remember that being mentioned. And obviously they had their fire. Oh, we have evidence for our case. The prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused's lodgings that you try to establish in your summation examination and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into that, didn't I? Right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat! Marry me, Pat! Oh. So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, it could very well just make matters worse. I have an objection. I would like to present this book. I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend, it's over. The last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There's no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say.
If I may, Lord Van Zieks, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh.
I am, to my shame, a still very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Aww.
Mr. Naruhodo.
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So, the court will hear you, madam. Go ahead, Mr. Zato. Please. Very well.
Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Oh, I already examined it.
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. Thank you, Miss Susato. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. Just in case he actually means one last chance, I'm going to save. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but...
Oh, wow.
Episode 1 we started in September. Wow. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked. Book!
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Have you looked at it, buddy? Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. It does! So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You identified this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Naruhodo, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may very well be on the right track.
I already examined it. I already did this. Yes, I think you might be right. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case which this fourth book conceals?
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh! Were I to concede at this point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing else to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some various clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
The owner of the book.
A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try.
Bring in the Garadebs.
Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry tome has suffered? Oh, I said that. The owner! My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth. About the book's owner. I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how can you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book? Do I select Joan or John? I can't remember which one it was that had the book. I'm going to go with John because Joan's in the jury.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Oh, he just says both. Okay. So I didn't have to pick. Good. I was worried. The landlords. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh, my goodness. Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused's landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Good lord. What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Right to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bolly thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. Bolly furniture started going up as well. The worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Okay, I do remember that. The Lion's Pride. By Jove! The very same title that's the subject of this debate. Oh dear me!
Objection!
This is risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garadeb even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly? Absolutely not, sir. But my Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
And all my favourite old novels in that case. As soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. That was I back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Diary books incoming, 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Good gracious! Are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there is no report of the Garadev's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garadev household. But it is not conceivable that the window was... But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and... Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garadev's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. It's quite enough, random voice. I don't know who said it. Garadev? Yep.
That's quite enough. Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully a family's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
You're right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this nippany spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly stabbed the victim, that little hunchback with the mustache, he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me. Sorry? What's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Seeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. Now, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... Oh! Hello! If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study on them on your own time. What, no forgive the discourtesy this time? Ahem. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Oh!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Thank you for that unambiguous response. That's twice now. It's over.
Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up.
Mrs. Otto?
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
You're not suggesting.
Of course. The defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination.
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. Oh, did I? Oh. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Use your determination. Oh, there it is. Perfect stopping point. It's been 2 hours.
And I need to go take some more medicine and lay down.
But I'm so glad I'm back. Oh, hopefully the next stream will be soon. We've been doing this case since December. Oh gosh. Well. Thank you all so much for joining the stream today. Man, I'm so sad that I've been gone for so long, but I'm happy I'm back now. This case is very good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna send you all off to Vol Blossom. Go spread her some love. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me. It's been such a pleasure. I'm saving again, just in case, because I have saving paranoia when it comes to games. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm sending you off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye!